I wasn't always sure I wanted to have a team. I actually was considering being a freelancer at one stage. Fortunately, we have a great team now. When I created the name, I felt that data matters because you make decisions with data. So the decision part of our name is related to the fact that we want actionable insights from data. The crew, obviously, meaning that we should ideally have a team that helps you do that. And in terms of the logo, it represents in what I call an intelligent tree. And to me, that resembles the fact that we help companies grow in a smart way. I'd love to say it was by design and by smart decisions. I think, honestly, in my life, each decision I took was the best decision that I thought I could take at the time. Leaving South Africa to go to London was a feeling just of wanting adventure, quitting the first job just because I didn't feel like I fit. I think a bit of luck played a part, like finding my first job in IT. That was truly fortunate, where through a friend of a friend I got an interview, and I really probably shouldn't have been given that job. But it was the right place to be, and that's where I learned everything I needed to know about data. And then I think I just followed my passion from there on. And maybe that is it. Maybe the underlying current is what I felt drew me into that. I nearly went to Scotland because I just love Scotland that much that I was willing to do almost any work. And fortunately, that didn't work out. But I think for me, what matters is what you care about and what drives you to follow that. Three main reasons. One, I guess, would be work-life balance and controlling what I work on. Two would be to do what you're really passionate about. So get back to that room where you can talk to a client, where you actually really cared about the client, and it wasn't because you're just trying to promote your own services, but you actually wanted to help them. And three would be to build a great team. So not for the sake of saying I have a great team, but to be part of something great. So to be part of a group of people that you felt could build something bigger than just me, and to have the honor of leading that and to hopefully shape that into something that changes society. The scene that plays in my head is me walking down the aisle, not the wedding aisle, but at my school. I was just elected to be one of the leaders. We had 10 in our final year, and I was the last person to be announced, and all the kids were rising up as I was walking through as the last person walking towards the stage. And I just felt incredibly proud that people would choose me to be a leader. In my first job, I absolutely disliked the atmosphere, and I decided to quit without having a next job. And the thing is, I didn't have a lot of money in my bank account, and I didn't have any family that I could run to because I was staying in London. So at the time, that was probably pretty foolish, but now I'm very grateful I did that.
What happened afterwards?
I managed to, in 2 weeks, get a contracting job at a council of all places, responding to parking tickets. By my own gut feeling in terms of whether I believe in something or not. I sometimes have had it in my career. One particular story that comes to mind is when a senior director told me that something's not possible, or he thought something was not possible. I had an idea. I went to him and I said, we can predict an outcome in real time, and he kind of questioned it. I was surprised, but I knew instinctively that it's possible, even though I'd never tried doing it myself. And it's that same feeling that guides my decision making, is like, I feel it's possible, might be challenging, but possible. And that's how I decide. I like the Adidas slogan of impossible is nothing. If I truly believe something's impossible, I wouldn't ask my team to do something. And In terms of complexity, however, I think recently we tried something new that we'd never tried before, which was to create an AI Christmas video, and we had to learn how to do the image generation, the video generation, and the voices, and do that in a week, and the team succeeded. I haven't really told this story before, and I'm hesitant to tell it because it can feel self-serving, but I'll tell it anyway. There was a part in my career where there were redundancies, and in this team that I was in, we were only about 5 designers, and it was between me and another person that would potentially be made redundant. Now, I was the more senior of the two, and it was going to be scored on seniority and experience, and the other person was my friend, and I knew that she had bought a house, that she needed to stay about another half year or a year in the country to be able to get a passport, and she would lose her house, she would lose the ability to get a passport if she was made redundant. And it was a fairly quick decision, but I just gave a call to my wife and I said, I think I need to make myself redundant, or say that I would take the redundancy to not put her in that position. And the reason I point out the story is that I didn't know. I mean, I was the sole breadwinner at that time, and I didn't know where that would lead me. But I think sometimes you have to do what is the right thing, even if you don't know where that leads you. And for me, leadership is about being able to take difficult decisions, and when the time is right, to make the hard decisions. And I think that not only defined something for me about character, but I think it also defined for me my leadership journey, which started actually from that point forward. Genuinely, I'm afraid of letting my team down and making the wrong decisions. And that if you can imagine anyone, like if you had the Wright brothers who imagined an airplane flying to die one day and the airplane never flew. For me, it's a little bit like what I saw in my head. I actually envisioned once me walking through Decision Crew, how it would be hopefully in 10 years. And it was very clear to me, seeing the kind of conversation that was going on around me, what people were doing, the decisions people were making. We wouldn't have meeting rooms, we'd have decision rooms. And I could see this whole floor of people thriving in this ecosystem that I had created. And my fear is that I, to say it politely, mess it up and don't achieve that vision that I had in my head. Not only for me, but also for the people who could have been part of that ecosystem. The thing that really gets me is when I considered a career change to start Decision Crew, one of the things that showed me the difference between what I would like to do versus what I don't want to do, and maybe this is the easiest way to answer your question. I was walking around the consultancy I was working at the time, and I saw a lot of directors sort of stuck in their offices, looking over spreadsheets, chargeability, metrics and things that would get them to be successful in what they were doing. And then I had an opportunity to take on a role that was actually far beneath my responsibility, and to just help a client. And I was in a room, I was doing a workshop where I was showing the results of something I'd built for them on screen, and I had live feedback. So the client was asking me about something and said, can we change something? And I showed them what the change would look like. And they were just blown away that it was that easy when someone knows what they're doing to basically give them what they were looking for. And that moment that you achieve when someone is really happy with the result that you're building and you're helping a client is really what I am passionate about. Now, I love to do that through innovation. So I love technology, and I think especially now in this space of AI, there's an extraordinary opportunity for small businesses to change the way companies work. And I really care about people, real relationships between both the client and ourselves, but also as a team. One of my dreams is to build a team that doesn't always need to agree, but has a great harmony and a sense of common purpose. And that is what we're going to build.